Good morning. Would you please direct your attention to either the Jumbotron or to, I guess those are not, I'm sorry, the 4 televisions are not. If you can see the Jumbotron, there's a short video we'd love you to watch. Thank you. Okay.
Here at Indiana Tech, we call ourselves warriors. Not because they've been around since the beginning of time or the name sounds cool, but because everybody here embodies the way of a warrior. Everybody knows that warriors fight. They fight for their dreams, they fight for their goals, and they fight alongside fellow warriors. I can recall multiple times during my time here at Indiana Tech where I had to fight for my goal to graduate. Whether that be up late nights studying or stepping back out on the battlefield after losing the last battle to a tough exam. One word comes to mind when thinking about the fellow warriors I was able to fight alongside of in the classroom and on the sports field, and that's grateful. A lesson learned came from a good friend of mine at practice, and he said, when something gets in your way, you don't stop, but you keep going. And I learned this after winning multiple national championships. Warriors help fellow warriors, regardless of age, experience, or prior accolades. Warriors are strong enough to know when they're weak, strong enough to know when they need help, and strong enough to know that every setback is only a setup to win in life, on the job, in the classroom, and anywhere else. A warrior overcomes tragedy and hard times, whether that be internal or external. During my time as a warrior, tragedy had to be overcome when 2 fellow warriors were taken away from us too soon. One of the toughest times of my life, but perseverance through loss and pain is the way of a warrior. Through every cut, bump, bruise, and the occasional broken bone, a warrior overcomes every obstacle to achieve their goal to win the war. And lastly, what is a warrior without wisdom? Wisdom is only the application of knowledge. When a warrior fights, they take the knowledge they have and apply it in the battle to defeat the opposition. So, my fellow warriors, as you fail forward in life, as you strive for greatness, as you kick down every door and overcome every obstacle to reach your mountaintop, remember you are and always will be a warrior.
You may be seated. You're going to get to hear from Xavier here in a minute when he comes up to do the invocation. But let me introduce myself. My name is Sheryl Hammond, and I'm an associate professor of business in the College of Business at Indiana Institute of Technology. I also have the distinct privilege of serving as the faculty representative on the Board of Trustees. This year's commencement ceremony is our 89th ceremony. I don't know, did we count the one we did earlier today? Is that included? I think so, okay. We were founded in 1930, and we want you graduates to know how proud we are of you. We want you to know that we're celebrating your academic achievements, but we pray that this is just the beginning for you. We want you to have a lifetime of academic success and wonderful accomplishments. If you take anything away from today, we pray that it will be your power to help change this world, and we need you in that world. Guests, at the appropriate time during our ceremony, we will encourage you to make as much noise as you can for your graduate. However, out of respect for the speakers at the beginning of this program, if you would please make sure that your cell phones are silenced, we will appreciate that. Will you please rise again as Senior Xavier Williams offers the invocation, and then stay standing as Kelsey Crilly sings the national anthem. Good job, buddy. Good job.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. As I was introduced, my name is Xavier Williams. A happy graduate of Indiana Tech today. But just one thing, when I talk, I like interaction, so good morning, everybody. Good morning. That's more like it. So I have been invited to do the invocation. So humbled to, be thought of in that discussion. So what invocation is prayer, if you will. So you can bow your head, close your eyes, you can do whatever you feel comfortable doing, don't feel any pressure. But we are going to pray briefly, and then I will pass it off. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, we bless you for today, God. We thank you for every soul here, God. We thank you for the 4 years of school and education, some 5, God, that you've allowed us to see. We thank you for all that you're doing. We bless you because today is a day of joy. We thank you for every person in the building, God, that has traveled near and far to get here, God. We just ask that you would keep a smile on our face today and moving forward, and let us continue, God, continue to learn and continue to move forward in greatness, God, as you have called us to be. We are so grateful for today, and we honor you on today. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen. Cool. And can I in 2 seconds? Look, so I just feel so just compelled to just encourage everybody, just in the graduating class of 2019. The abbreviation of Indiana Tech is IT. And as I was pondering on it, man, just as we move forward in life, this is like super generic and super basic, but just remember, whether you're high or low or somewhere in between, remember that you can do it. We graduated Indiana Tech and we were able to do it. So whether you go and I know some of you guys have interviews coming up, or some of you guys already have a job and you may have a hard task to do, just remember that you can do it. Don't be discouraged, don't be dismayed, but always have that in your belly, have it rumbling in your belly, if you will, that you can do it. Be encouraged, okay? Just last thing, promise. And one last thing, can we just give a huge round of applause to all of the family that is here, that traveled far. Whoop, whoop. I know my family is here, and I love y'all. There you go. Yep, they are in the back. I love you guys so dearly. Let's give a round of applause to all the faculty and staff that helped us get here. They could not, I promise, we could not make it here without them. President Einoff, the people who clean the classrooms, we need them too. And then, finally, let's give a round of applause to the class of 2019. Woo, woo! We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. All right, that's it. I love you guys dearly. Every single one of you, I love you guys. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. At this time, it is my distinct privilege and my honor to introduce Indiana Tech's President, Dr. Carl Einoff.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a tremendous beginning that was. As president of Indiana Tech, nothing makes me prouder than seeing the joy on our students' faces as they celebrate the achievement of reaching their academic goal. And while I know you graduates are eager to have your moment in the spotlight, there's a number of individuals I would first like to recognize. I'd like to recognize the members of our Board of Trustees who are with us today. This dedicated and supportive group volunteers their time, talent, and treasures to make this institution great. Trustees, please stand as I announce your name, and audience, please hold your applause until all the members of the board are standing. Board Chair Greg Sangstack, Vice Chair Dick Scholl, Secretary Sherry Becker, Jeff Benzing, Bill Doherty, Sheryl Hammond, Diane Humphrey, Joe Jordan, Anthony Giuliano, Rear Admiral David Nash, Reverend Arnie Pearson, Jeffrey Paddock, Ravi Talwar, and Dr. Michael Wood. Let's acknowledge their dedicated service to Indiana Tech. Next, I would like to recognize the officers and deans of the university. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced and I have recognized them collectively. Our vice presidents, Judy Roy, Dr. Thomas Kaplan, Dr. Dan Stoker, Steve Herendeen, Brian Engelhardt, Dan Grigg, our academic deans, Dr. Kate Watland, Dave Ashelman, Dr. Oliver Evans, and the hardest job of any of us on stage, reading names, Timothy Allwine, Dr. Susan McGrade, Dr. Steve Dussault, and Dr. Jerome Heaven. On this Mother's Day weekend, let us be thankful for all of our mothers. These are the women who made us who we are, the women who brought us up, and the women who have kept on bringing us up no matter how adult we claim to be. We recognize all mothers for the selfless sacrifices you make every day, for your inspiring example, and for your love. So if you're able to, if you're a mother, a stepmother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, would you please stand up and be recognized? The distinctiveness of any university depends on the knowledge, talent, and dedication of its faculty. Over the last 2 years since I've joined Indiana Tech, I've been paying close attention to this truly outstanding faculty. And I can tell you that based on my over 25 years in higher education, this group of people serves our students with absolute excellence. Please hold your applause, but I ask our faculty to please rise and remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen of the faculty, you serve as beacons of excellence for our students. You are committed to high-quality teaching. You are dedicated to a life of learning through your scholarly and professional pursuits, and you are always willing to advise, mentor, and especially learn from our students. You are central to the student experience at Indiana Tech. You have given our students the opportunity to encounter knowledge, and with your encouragement, the potential to excel. Would you all join me in a round of applause for our outstanding faculty? We also have an outstanding administration and staff who are deeply committed to ensuring that our students are successful. Most of these individuals are with us today, stationed at various points around the Coliseum. They are doing what they always do. They are working hard to make your experience, our students' experience, especially on your graduation day, a good one. So would you all please just join me in a moment of recognition for our administrative and staff. Return the cheer that they gave you as you processed in today. Now I'd like to honor a group of individuals whose dedication goes far beyond the Indiana Tech community to serve our entire nation. Indiana Tech is proud to have been named a military-friendly school for the 8th straight year. This is reserved for only the top 20% of schools nationwide. At this time, I ask our graduates that are veterans and those currently serving our country to please stand. We salute you and thank you for your sacrifice, commitment, and service. May God continue to bless the United States of America, our troops, and our veterans. Finally, there's an important group that I ask our graduating students to recognize. They are the parents, spouses, children, and relatives and friends. Everyone in the audience, as Xavier said, traveled so far to see you. These are the people that supported you and encouraged you as you progressed through your studies. Would you please take a look up in the stands and find those that are here for you? Never forget that you did not accomplish this on your own. There are many people who have helped you reach this day, this commencement, this beginning of your lifelong learning. I now invite Dr. Thomas Kaplan, Vice President for Academic Affairs, to come to the podium to present the Faculty of the Year Award.
This is a fun job. The Faculty of the Year Award is special because it comes from our students who nominate faculty for this honor. All nominations are reviewed by a committee of student leaders who then make the final selection. Of this year's Faculty of the Year Award winner, students say, "There is never a day when I walk into this professor's office and wonder if I'm going to learn and have my questions answered. This professor works the hardest every day, continually fills my mind with hope, and deserves recognition for having a passion to lead." The words approachable, high expectations, reasonable, more than willing to help, someone to talk to, and mentor were repeated by several student nominators. The hands-on experience offered in her classes a clue, is invaluable. I never expected to develop such strong relationships with my instructors in college, but I am so grateful that I've had the privilege to work closely with her during my time at Tech. She always expected more from me than I expected from myself. She pulled me into an endlessly entertaining job, is always around to share a laugh, frequently offers encouragement, and occasionally commiserates with me. Over the past 4 years, she has challenged me to push myself, and I have become a more confident individual because of it. As we have added several new programs and faculty in her academic area this year, another clue, she will always be able to say, "But I was here first." Her availability and commitment to her students and her passion to lead them toward their goals has earned Professor Amy Shank well-deserved recognition as Indiana Tech's 2018-19 Faculty of the Year. Professor Shank, would you please join me on stage with President Einolf?
It is my honor to introduce our commencement speakers this afternoon, the founders of Advancing Voices of Women. Earlier today at our graduate commencement ceremony, we honored our speakers with Indiana Tech's President Medal. Patti Hayes, Marilyn Moran Townsend, Rachel Tobin Smith, and Faith Van Gilder established Advancing Voices of Women in 2017. This nonpartisan group works to advance the voices of women in civic life and community involvement, encourage civil discourse, welcome new voices, and promote honesty and integrity in public service and community conversations. These 4 leaders were recently recognized by the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette as their 2018 Citizens of the Year. Patti Hayes serves as Chief Executive Officer of the AWS Foundation, whose mission is to help individuals enduring intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities live as independently as possible. A dedicated community volunteer, she is a member of the Allen County Board of Health, the Allen County Fort Wayne Disability Advisory Council, and the Board of Visiting Nurses. Marilyn Moran Townsend is Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of CVC Communications Business Storytellers. She has served as chair of the Indiana Commission for Higher Education and on the board of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce. She is co-founder of Elevate Northeast Indiana and a founding chair of Invent Tomorrow, and is a recipient of the Sagamore of the Wabash Award, which honors distinguished service to the people of Indiana. Rachel Tobin Smith served as executive director of SCAN, Stop Child Abuse and Neglect, until her retirement in 2016. During her 31 years with the agency, she oversaw its growth from 2 employees to over 200 employees, now serving children and families in 38 counties in northern Indiana. She is a member of the Fort Wayne Plan Commission and Indiana's Children Trust Fund Board and the Fort Wayne Board of Zoning Appeals. She too has been recognized for her service to Indiana with the Sagamore of the Wabash Award. Faith Van Gilder is not able to join us today as she is currently in Chicago attending her daughter's graduation from law school. Faith serves as Senior Account Supervisor at Asher Agency. She has served her country in the Peace Corps in Botswana and has had a long career as a journalist before assuming her current role. She serves on the boards of Wellspring Interfaith Social Services and Creative Women of the World. Please join me in welcoming Patti Hayes, Marilyn Moran Townsend, and Rachel Tobin Smith to the podium to provide our commencement address.
Life has defining moments if only we're paying attention. We're going to tell you about 3 of our defining moments as we challenge you to identify what defines you. I have had 6 near-death experiences, 5 of them in airplanes. I was in a plane with a bomb. We made an emergency landing in Jacksonville in the field outside of the area of the airport, and we were all let out of the chutes and ladders and told to run. I was in a plane where the de-icer was not working during an ice storm, and that exact model of plane the day before in an ice storm in northwest Indiana had crashed and killed everyone. The day after my flight, American Airlines took that model of plane out of service worldwide. I was in a plane where 3 out of the 4 engines quit before we landed in Indianapolis to a flurry of emergency vehicles, and that flight made USA Today headlines. And I was in a flight that was coming from the West Coast to Denver on its descent over the Rocky Mountains, and just inches above the Rockies, when we took a direct lightning hit, the entire plane shuddered and went dead, which means no power, no motors, no engines, no lights, nothing, for 7 seconds, inches above the Rockies. Now, I'm not actually going to tell you about any of those flights. The one I'm going to tell you about was when we were on our final approach into Atlanta Hartsfield, and we're at treetop level, and suddenly the plane just takes back off again. Well, normally the pilot would say something because clearly all of us noticed, but not a word from the cockpit for 20 long minutes. It was obvious we were just circling the airport. Finally, the pilot came on the intercom, and this is near verbatim what he said. "I'm sorry I haven't talked to you before now, but I really wanted to sort it out for myself. Now, you probably noticed that we didn't continue landing back there. That's because our wheels didn't come down, and I figured it wasn't safe to proceed." And I'm thinking, good decision. Probably has a college degree. He said, "Now, unfortunately, we have a few other systems that have also failed. We think we're going to get the wheels to manually come down," but he then went through a list of everything else that had failed, and the list was incredibly long and included a lot of things that are really necessary to land, things like flaps and brakes. Then he goes on, "Now, we're safe as long as we're up here." And I'm thinking, you do the math. At some point, we have to go down. He said, "So they're declaring an emergency. They're going to phone the longest runway in Atlanta, fill it with emergency vehicles. We're going to try and get the wheels down, but we won't have anything else, so it's going to be very hard and very fast, and Tanya is going to give you the emergency landing procedures." Now, Tanya, the flight attendant, is standing near me. She looks like she's 12. And she clearly had not been briefed on this. She was hearing it as we were, and I'm just watching the color just drain out of her face. And she picks up the microphone, and her hand is visibly shaking, and she says, "I've never been in an emergency before. I'm going to go read the manual, and I'll be back in a minute." So I see her go to the coffee station, and she pulls this big 3-ring binder down, and she's flipping through the pages, and then she's reading us all this stuff about make sure everything around you is secure, that there's nothing sharp, and when we give the call, everybody puts their head between their legs. I still don't know what that's about, but anyway, we did it. We did get the wheels down, but nothing else, and we hit very hard and very fast. We skittered all over the runway, past all the emergency vehicles. But when it was clear that the pilot had gotten the plane under control and we weren't going to die, I started the applause. Little Tanya picks up her microphone and she goes, "I think we should break open the liquor cabinet." Now, I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the emergency landing procedures. I do fly a lot, but I have a lot of colleagues who fly way more than I do, and they report they have never had an emergency. So for years, I used to ask myself, why me? But a better question is, why am I still alive? And I discovered the answer to that only recently, as I identified a purpose I have in life for which I am uniquely prepared. Now, that part of my story is private, but I am going to challenge you in this moment of your commencement to identify what it is that you are uniquely prepared to do. Your university has prepared you for a life of significance and worth. And now it's up to you in that defining moment to make the most of what really matters. And with that, I'm happy to now turn it over to my good friend and colleague, Patti Hayes, who's going to have her moment at the podium.
Hard one to follow. My defining moment. Our youngest son is a chess player. One of the lessons you learn in chess is that your decisions have consequences. Look closely, because mistakes can't be undone. When he was taught that, however, I recall a different lesson. As a teenager, all 6 members of my family from a vacation at the beach. We arrived before my uncle came home from work, so my aunt let us know that Uncle Bob was bringing home a client from work. This was alarming because my uncle was a chaplain at Greater Ford Federal Penitentiary. This is a high-security prison. I instantly saw my protective father tighten up when he learned that the man who would be sharing dinner with us and his 4 children had been incarcerated for the murder of his wife just 7 years before. That evening, I met Vaughn Booker. Vaughn was an impressively large man with a deep and booming voice, imposing, standing next to my 6-foot-tall father. But he had a gentle manner in talking with us. Dinner started with a blessing, and conversation centered around his studies to become a deacon in the Episcopal Church. We talked of the parable of the prodigal son and the power of forgiveness. I learned Vaughn was tutoring the illiterate inmates, many rapists, armed robbers, murderers like himself. He talked with my younger brother that they both were Boy Scouts. He was a father to a son and a daughter, and was in jail for a life sentence after choosing to use 5 steel-tipped arrows to silence his wife. Remember, at this time, there were no executions in the United States between 67 and 72, so he was given a life sentence for his actions that night. We later learned that Vaughn had a request in front of the State Board of Pardons, and perhaps his story was more than what we understood at dinner that night. But still, my father visibly relaxed when my uncle left to return Vaughn to his halfway home. I left that meal rethinking my opinion about capital punishment. It wasn't long thereafter I left for college, got married, had my own children, life went on, and I never asked what happened to Vaughn. But one day in 1994, the TV was on in the background and I was half listening, helping the kids with their homework. I heard that distinctively deep, booming voice, and I turned and saw a little thicker, a little grayer Vaughn Booker wearing the white collar of an Episcopal priest. He was promoting his book from prison to pulpit, and was now a rector at a parish in Virginia. The man who was once called Robin Hood at Graterford Prison was telling his story. He didn't blame someone or something for his actions. He said, "I made a bad decision on my own." It was when he realized that he had to deal with his own situation that his course changed. He took full responsibility. He helped found a vocational education program. He studied and helped others to do the same. It was less than a year after I had first met Vaughn that the governor commuted his sentence and the possibility of parole was in front of him. Vaughn became the first convicted murderer to be ordained a deacon in the Episcopal Church, all within the walls of Graterford Prison. He went on to seminary a few years later. In planning to tell this story to you today, I Googled Vaughn Booker and was sad to see he died just a few months ago. We all make mistakes. Some of those mistakes are in our past, and trust me, there'll be many mistakes that will come yet in our future. But a man I met in 1973 taught me decades later that one can recover from those bad moves in life. My defining moment was revealed in the rearview mirror. Just as in chess, decisions do have consequences, but Vaughn taught me that the mistakes you make do not have to define you.
I love college graduations. Other people get choked up at other things, but I was choked up this morning and almost cried when Pomps and Circumstance played. In my family, it's a big deal. My father was a Russian Jew immigrant, and the one thing that he taught me is that a lot of things will come and go, but your college education never will. I'm really excited to be here today. So how many of you looked in the mirror this morning? Come on, show of hands, you're tired, come on. I did. Some of you shaved and looked in the mirror. I can see by some of those mortar boards that got a little cock, and so you've got to have looked in the mirror to do that. I hope you smiled at yourself. Today is an important day. In 1982, I was sitting like you in Virginia, and I graduated with my master's degree. And as soon as I got done with my master's degree, I loaded a U-Haul. Mr. Senjek back here, his daughter's got a U-Haul today. And we drove to Fort Wayne. We got as far as Ohio. We borrowed a car from my mother because we were dirt poor, my husband and I. And so job number one when I got here to Fort Wayne was to find a job. Now let's talk about Fort Wayne in 1982. It was a little different than it is today. And by the way, I'm watching the clock. I know when you saw three of us stand up here, you thought, oh my goodness. But there's a nice clock right here for me. Anyway, so we borrowed the car, we got out here, I began to send out resumes. I knocked on doors, months went by. You know, we had a cooler, we couldn't afford a refrigerator. We were loading it with ice every day, and that's how we kept our meat and our dairy going. Months go by, International Harvester closed, 9,000 people were without a job. Women were not in management jobs in those days. Women, at that point in time, were just working and beginning to inch up on those steps of the corporate ladder. I graduated with a degree in nonprofit management. I was a little ahead of my time. I weaseled my way into a lot of executive directors' offices, but still no interview, no job. Finally, a nursing home called me, and the man asked me to come in for an interview for a coordinator position. Wasn't top-level management, but it wasn't at the bottom of the rung either. I was excited. I put on my best suit, combed my hair and looked in the mirror, went out for this interview. It was going really well. I was so excited. This was going to be a great job. I had done nursing home work with my bachelor's degree, so it fit right in. At the end of the interview, or I thought we were getting to the end of the interview, the executive director turned to me and said, "Go home and ask your husband if it's all right if you work." I could feel my neck getting red. And I said, I think I heard him wrong. I'm going to ask him. So I said, "Pardon me, I don't think I understood your question." And he said, "I'll be happy to hire you, but I need to know that it's all right with your husband if you work." So my neck's getting redder, you can imagine. Probably my nose too, and it's not little. Anyway, all these thoughts were running through my head. All the all-nighters I pulled to get my master's degree, my sister who was destined to med school, but everybody told her that she needed to go and get married and have children, my mother who had a brilliant math mind, who never was more than a bookkeeper, and I shouldn't say more than a bookkeeper, but she could have had a wonderful career. And I stood up, and I shook the gentleman's hand, and I said, "I'm sorry, but I don't think I can take this job." Now, I got home and I walked into the bathroom. I wasn't really sure if I was going to get sick or whether I was going to cry, but I looked in the mirror. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw somebody I was proud of. I saw a young woman who needed a job really bad, who stood up for her convictions, and who had the moral courage to do so when it was tough. Now, I would like to tell you that there was a Hallmark movie ending to this, and that guy called me up the next day and said, "Oh, you were so wonderful, please come work for us," but it didn't work out that way. It was several months more before I got a job, and I did get a job in management, and the week after that, the executive director of that little not-for-profit left, and I took over, and the rest is history, as they say. Today is a defining moment for each of you, but it won't be your only defining moment. As you go forward, it's important, whether it's in the rearview mirror or a few months later, to recognize those defining moments, like Marilyn recognized hers, that she's in this world for a purpose. You too are in this world for a purpose, each and every one of you. Or like Patti, in the rearview mirror, realizes that we don't necessarily need to be defined by our mistakes. You can learn more from your mistakes often than your successes. And of course, mine, always be able to get up each morning and look in that mirror and see somebody you respect, who has moral courage and who can stand up for their convictions. I love you all. Congratulations. Best wishes. Make it a wonderful day.
Thank you, Patti, Marilyn, and Rachel. We are indeed honored with your presence today and really appreciated and enjoyed your message to our graduates. Okay, graduates. I have one question for you. Are you ready for your degrees? I now invite Dr. Thomas Kaplan, Vice President for Academic Affairs, back to the podium.
President Einolf, as Vice President for Academic Affairs, it is my privilege to present the 2019 candidates. Will the candidates for Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees please stand and remain standing? Will the candidates for the Associate of Science degrees now also stand? President Einolf, these candidates have successfully completed all requirements for their respective degrees. On behalf of the faculty, it is my pleasure to present them to you as fully qualified for their degrees. You may be seated for the moment. As directed by the ushers, you will come forward to receive your diplomas. After you receive your degree, please exit from the stage down the center steps and proceed down the center aisle to the back of the arena to have a photo taken. Once all of our graduates receive their diplomas, President Einolf will collectively confirm all of the degrees.
And now receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Child Development, Alexis Tarango.
Megan E. Huffman.
Kyla M. Markwell.
Kiera L. Carlisle.
Kelsey A. Crilly.
Katie K. Giant.
Rihanna Wallace Coleman.
Autumn D. Stokes.
And now receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, Valerie N. Parrish.
Ashley C. Winecoop.
Jania Charmel Allen.
Tessa Rose.
Barbara Daniels.
Rasheen L. Guy.
Mercedes T. Jackson.
Erlene J. Lamar.
Shayna M. Johnson.
Camelia R. Taylor.
Chloe R. Jeans.
Isis J. Parker.
Devin Abernathy.
Mary E. Taylor.
Jenna N. Zostak.
Maya Nay Nicholson.
Kendria T. Smith.
Andrea D. Padilla.
Tierra S. Lapsley.
Javier Castaneda.
Adam T. Kowalski.
Oscar I. Martinez Alba.
Travis C. Jacobs.
Kristen T. Cave.
Jacob J. Weimer.
Brennan L. Cochran.
Charles E. Hurt IV.
Tamia S. DeRosier.
Sawyer W. Miller.
Benjamin W. Shields.
Kyla Marie Andrew.
Brandy R. Hoosman.
Katrina N. McKinney.
Camelia Thomas.
Loe Abdulla Al-Rabji.
Raid Isa Al-Shamari.
Nakia E. Tinker.
Kelly L. Cook.
Ryan T. Krolikowski.
Justin E. Guy.
Alexander X. Rodriguez.
Sydney B. Lamelin.
Skylar J. Ashcraft.
Aisha Haynes.
Sierra N. Worsler.
Aisha Haynes.
Angela L. Smith.
Julian M. Lauer.
Arwa Muzaed Al-Harbi.
Terrell Davis.
Fahad Salih Al-Turaifi.
Nicoletta M. Klosik Stover.
Angela M. Rowlett.
Tammy Duval.
Cassandra Biella.
Joycelyn C. Farmer.
Lori A. Sini.
Now receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, Daniel R. Johnson II.
Now receiving the Bachelor of Science in Emergency Response Management, James C. Hartley.
Aaliyah Page Brown. And now receiving the degree of Bachelor in Science in Fitness and Recreation, Sydney M. Davis.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, Brandon M. Hillier.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Health Information Management, Joella Metzger.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Fitness and Recreation, DeMarcus S. Stid.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Human Services, Joanna Groves Mayo.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Health Information Management, Rosa I. Bennett.
Kelly J. Thomas.
Trina L. Hunt.
Brooke A. Cooley.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Human Services, Ronette Curry.
Becky R. Sutton.
Stacy A. Hoxie.
Joanna M. Norris.
Nicole D. Gutierrez.
Allison M. Turner.
Tiffany L. Gorski Kimry.
Samantha Williams.
Taylor C. Bishop.
Kelsey Knight.
Foundation 1.
Roshan Morgan.
Sherry Haywood.
Angela M. McPherson.
Shayla L. Johnson.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Pre-Law, Matthew B. Robinson.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Human Services, Jamie Bernardin.
Caitlin N. Walter.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Physical Education, Heidi Lynn Tremaine.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Recreation Therapy, Isabella C. Horst.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Pre-Law, Brittany M. Wilson.
Sierra N. Deming.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Recreation Therapy, Mason A. Gaines.
Blake A. Carell.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Recreation Therapy, Ayana N. Moody.
Alan A. Smith.
Hannah N. Glenn.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Brandy L. Dennis.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Recreation Therapy, Michael E. Sparks, Jr.
Camellia D. Wright.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Mackenzie Lynn Cook.
Lindy J. Fritz.
Brian McNeely.
Kira K. Heidi.
Juanita Walker.
Josiah D. Adams.
Iseline T. Patterson.
Mackenzie H. Lessing.
Elizabeth A. Vanette.
Stephanie C. Larson.
Tiana T. Parker.
Teresa R. Eaton.
Amanda M. Anderson.
Kiana N. Rogers.
Candace D. Bird Fenrick.
Danielle R. Franklin.
Henry N. Mitchell.
Keenan C. Jones.
Connor G. Barney.
Patience S. Kennedy.
Alexis R. Blackburn.
Katie A. Moggle.
Jordan D. Reyes.
Kevin M. Williams, Jr.
Nicholas S. Miller.
Krista E. Minnick.
Noah J. Vorndran.
Davena D. Jefferson.
Elizabeth J. Snyder.
Melissa A. Benson.
Robin D. Pearson.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Healthcare Administration, Shauna Irving.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Fitness and Recreation, Adam F. Foss.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Esmara Lopez.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Special Education, Mild Intervention, Aubrey C. Eggers.
Christian T. Hoff.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Eric C. Burkhart.
Emily Wieland.
Matthew K. Mensing.
Kelsey Nicole Reinhardt.
Kendall L. Kanapke.
Tammy J. Sturrott.
Haley N. Gibson.
Madison M. Rodiger.
Stephanie McDonald.
Donna L. Sark.
Caitlin Elaine Wallig.
Debbie A. Lacapo.
Cedric Reeder McClure.
Tamika S. Rushing.
Angela Mays Perez.
Tiara Ware.
Amanda Mariano.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Theodore J. White.
Catherine Sturgill.
Alfredo R. Smith.
Now receiving the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Anthony Tillman, Jr.
Case J. Griffin.
Xavier B. Williams.
Lucas J. Brandt.
Skylar P. Knoll.
Brandon L. Birch.
Lucas J. Hilty.
Jordan L. Reese.
William T. Irick VI.
Cynthia C. Vanden Bosch.
Christopher S. Boyd.
Abigail L. Bullardick.
Nicholas A. Allen.
Nathaniel O. Riley.
Courtney F. Mack.
Brian J. Skillicorn.
Jimmy T. Kotalainen.
Cameron M. Wyrick.
Jarrett W. Pfeiffer.
Dylan A. Fair.
Ryan D. Atwood.
Noah S. Puckett.
Chandler D. Peterson.
Joseph M. Dozen Jr.
Raven A. Lee.
Marina R. Stefke.
Justin M. Atkinson.
Kelsey M. Combs.
Sadiqa Nadam.
Christopher G. Easley.
Billy L. Shrivers.
Tanner J. Perkins.
Vicky L. Buzzard.
Maisie B. Hewitt.
Kirsten R. Wolf.
Dara Harris.
Cecilia Bridget Heck.
Valerie Diane Izazari.
Let's go, Valerie!
Larry W. Gage.
Dustin Thorpe.
Ella L. Jones.
Marcy R. Hunter.
Serena L. Ford.
Rana B. Franklin.
Brittany N. Adkins.
Aletha R. Weinbrenner.
Aaron J. White.
Jeremy W. Fox.
Desiree Ellis.
Erdine Gansuk.
Christopher S. Stillwell.
Alejandro Macias.
David C. Emery.
Jenna Walters.
Dexter T. Allen.
Rhonda L. Thomas.
Don L. Butler Jr.
Brittany Highball.
Aaron Davis.
Travis Smock.
Karen A. Elliott.
Rosina Morris.
Rhonda R. Gilbert.
Danielle N. Cheney.
Julia N. Pertler.
Carson L. Sepikin.
Kyle Sheree Anderson.
Christopher Thomas Sweeks.
Mia K. Girth.
Jamaica L. Howard.
David J. Swoverland.
Mara P. Zell.
Susan G. Miller Underwood.
Dathan M. Terry.
Jessica M. Harris.
Joshua M. Morris.
Leslie R. Robinson.
Rebecca L. Falstich.
Carrie A. Scott.
Shalonda L. White.
David James Sokol.
Alexandria Harris.
Kayla M. Mallet.
Elizabeth A. Hawley.
Caleb T. Croft.
Nikki Lyon.
Michaela D. Lyons.
Khalif Brown.
Gary L. Mullet.
Kenneth White.
Holly Sue Howard Oosley.
Myra Ann Catapang.
Antonis Hall.
Michaela J. Wright.
Brittany E. Brown.
Candace A. Anderson.
Sheldon Blackamore.
Scott Balfour Brown.
Andrea N. Springer Smith.
Candela Guijarro Garcia.
Carlos Daniel Chico Stephen.
Ruben Moises de Mejelo Leonardo.
Andrew R. Icorn.
Melissa Menor.
Sarah J. Dixon.
Lindsay K. Sechrist.
Chelsea Waddle.
Vixen Walker.
Shatea F. Little.
Loretta D. Knapp.
Cody Loss.
Brittany Guston.
Richard B. Dahl.
Hattie Teresa Taylor.
Fabian Arias Carrillo.
Lena McCombs.
Sarah C. Dunmore.
Samantha D. Fowler.
Pamela Frierson.
Kristen M. Hutchison.
Holly Roxanne Watkins.
Shante C. Minor.
Brittany N. Johnson.
Alicia Peckinpah.
Danielle Mitchell.
Jody E. Wooten.
Holly Meyer.
Krista L. Higdon.
Anita C. Sutton.
Jennifer J. Brown.
Mackenzie L. Willoughby.
Tiffany L. Franks.
Damone M. Howard.
Victoria L. Bryant.
Nicole M. Hawkins.
Nikita B. Kane.
Stephanie L. Minor.
Trisha K. Crawl.
Brittany L. Rosenbarger.
Eric C. Mutzfeld.
Melissa J. Eaton.
Dominique D. Clark Farrell.
Amber M. Stubblefield.
Kimberly M. Landrum.
Derek Brown.
Joshua Bowen.
Jennifer Renee Crawford.
Michael D. Miller.
Priscilla Williams.
Amy S. Conklin.
Katie L. Schenkel.
Taylor L. Wolfenbarger.
Clinton S. Romero.
Kiana A. Robinson.
Stacy J. Gonzalez.
Chantel L. Johnson.
Stephanie L. Smith.
Latoya R. Kirkendall.
Justin D. Burgess.
Lakila N. Wheeler.
Tony Yates Jr.
Jefferson T. Carmen.
Galatia R. Lewis.
Now receiving the Bachelor of Science in Fashion Marketing and Management, Jaleja C. George.
Amy N. Henderson.
Kennedy M. Moody.
Brandy J. Grover.
Sarah Ahmed Badrig.
Amy J. Dre.
Receiving a degree of Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Reginald Blackman.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Harry G. Harris IV.
Robin Hack.
Lauren M. Wilson.
Justin West.
Jermaine L. Wells.
Dawson Jazz Numumki.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Fashion Marketing and Management, Kadir N. Mohammed.
For her. Now receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Computer Science, Logan J. Harold.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Fashion Marketing and Management, Kyra J. Allen.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Computer Science, Chase E. Goodson.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Fashion Marketing and Management, Omar Diab.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Computer Science, Raymond Douglas E. Jarvis.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Kendall Mansfield.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Computer Science, Jordan Lee Owens.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, April Bailey.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Computer Science, Nicholas A. Williams.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Simone A. Jackson.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Information Systems, Jennifer L. Adams Hill.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Terry J. Abner.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Information Systems, Randall S. Bishop.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Brittany Rodriguez.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Information Systems, Aaron C. Kidd.
Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership, Nathan Schroth.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts in Information Systems, Clay E. McWilliams.
Receiving Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Nora Delilah Montgomery Knoll.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Ahmed I. Al-Balawi.
Receiving a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, Dylan J. Cox.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Shane P. Grimaud.
Todd E. Harmon.
Jennifer A. Banks.
Benjamin H. Cutchall.
Jacob Francis Dean Gross.
Alan R. Roach.
Bo L. Davis.
Receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Information Systems, Crystal G. Stagner.
Receiving a Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Rui M. Neves de Oliveira Lima.
William A. Franklin.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Computer Engineering, Terry M. Rowe III.
Receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Information Systems, Bronson L. Mock.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Computer Engineering, Abdulla F. Alessa.
Receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Information Systems, Kristen R. Refet.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, Carlton J. Hart.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Madison Page Penfold.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor's of Science in Computer Security and Investigation, Tyler A. Hoppy.
Andrea P. Nyamate.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor of Science in Computer Security and Investigation, Zachary T. Meredith.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Tanner D. Brandt.
Receiving a degree in the Bachelor of Science in Digital Graphics and Design, Arthur G. Williams.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Brandon A. Alger.
Receiving a Bachelor's of Science in Network Engineering, Aaron Blackman.
Joseph S. McGee.
Receiving a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Security and Investigation, Lena Alafi.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Fahad Z. Haizmail.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Network Engineering, Travis Latham.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Kennedy V. Lai.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Network Engineering, Saleh O. Alaswiti.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Isaiah J. Dookie.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Maurice L. Bowe.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Emily V. Miller.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Christopher P. Strasser.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Security and Investigation, Nathan M. Williams.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Jonathan W. Watkins.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Security and Investigation, Tariq Z. Alwardi.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Mitchell W. Logano.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity, Rayon S. Al-Azmi.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Abdulla S. Al-Shawarni.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Network Engineering, Anthony J. Burkhart.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Khalid Nasser Al-Harbi.
Brian T. Williams.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Omar S. Al-Harbi.
Bendar A. Hakmi.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Abdomen N. Al-Saadi.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Ahmed R. Adalfari.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Suleiman Mahal Al-Sahami.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Landon J. Schlatter.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Thamer A. Al-Mamadi.
Josiah J. Hapner.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Energy Engineering, Sameh H. Al-Sahafi.
Joseph C. Pratt.
Faisal J. Al-Mutari.
Earl W. McAnulty III.
Nicholas A. Besant.
Muhammad E. Abdelkader.
Saad A. Alami.
Musab Al-Koder.
Mohammed S. Al-Katani.
Abdelmalik S. Al-Duderi.
Bayan A. Aman.
Hassan M. Zandan.
Al-Walid K. Al-Mabayed.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Energy Engineering, Ahmed A. Al-Bathreth.
Timothy A. Hostetler.
Nasser H. Al-Rashi.
He did, yeah. Chad M. White.
Oladipo R. Akim Shitu.
Benjamin Guy McCullough.
Sultan H. Al-Rashid.
Nicholas J. Lawson.
Badr G. Al-Dafari.
Mitchell T. Smith.
Hamad F. Al-Athmi.
Joshua R. Hutchison.
Ahmed Salem Al-Anazi.
Richard J. Carmichael.
Sayed A. Al-Sharani.
Joshua R. Miller.
Hytham E. Al-Brahimian.
Ibrahim S. Al-Faid.
Redu Tofeg Al-Ganazi.
Ali A. Al-Dasari.
Ali A. Al-Arbash.
Now receiving a Bachelor of Science in Information Systems, Alyssa J. Allen.
Faleh M. Al-Mutari.
Abdulla M. Al-Rasaimi.
Mashnan Abdullah Al-Dusari.
Now receiving a degree in a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Jordan S. Collins.
Now receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering, Brianna M. Brunette.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Christopher M. Bailey.
Jacob R. Chalk.
Cody W. Fairchild.
Hayden J. Fulbright.
Cameron C. Owens.
Brian T. Grabowski.
Robert E. Humphrey.
Anthony M. Passarelli.
Taylor D. Nychik.
Neosha Craig.
Branson A. Dosen.
Carlos O. Cardenas.
Mashari S. Al-Katani.
Rakan Al-Mutari.
Saad M. Zandan.
Muhammad Saleh Al-Dahari.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering, Khalid D. Al-Karni.
Sultan H. Al-Shamari.
Ethan C. Smith.
Faisal A. Al-Bashari.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Web Development, Isabella S. Lozano Dobbs.
Ted L. Birch. Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Information Systems, Calum M. Letzum.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Criminal Justice, Maud Wilkins.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Abdomen M. Alfern.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Criminal Justice, Cynthia Hines.
Jason N. Brown.
Dorandoras A. Glasper Sr.
Jasmine N. Hiss.
Jacqueline E. Solender.
James S. Ostler IV.
Yvonne M. Cullum.
Timothy E. Rigney, Jr.
Chandra L. Trigg.
Goran Tremoski.
Trisha K. Good.
Christian S. Corian.
Kiara L. Muhammad.
Joseph R. Wolf.
Jamila I. Pollard.
Turkey S. Alukman.
Mariana L. Perkins.
Waleed H. Abeladi.
Breisha Smith.
Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering, James L. Chandler, Jr.
Receiving an Associate of Science in General Studies, Brittany M. Baxter.
Edward D. Pumphrey.
Crystal L. Crisp.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Criminal Justice, Sheryl Cowan.
Carolyn Patrice Jones.
Brittany Martin.
Kelsey R. Dunmeyer.
John C. Kearns.
Monica M. Chirodes.
Shanetta Grimm.
Olatoy O. Itani.
Corinne M. Castillo.
Kevin L. LaRue.
Kevin Vortez Catino.
Laura L. Ortega.
Courtney O. Lewis.
Shaniqua R. Porterman Mills.
Jasmine Hopkins.
Candace B. Scott.
Brianna Michelle Moore.
Howard N. Barlow.
Rotunda L. Montgomery.
Harmisha L. Windmiller.
Cipriana M. Warner.
Caitlin R. Wallace.
Nicole D. Fulton.
Amanda J. Macias.
Now receiving the Associate of Science in General Studies, Autumn B. Bishop.
Kiana Young.
Nicole Pittman.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Health Information Technology, Jacqueline D. Lacey.
Jeremy T. Freeman.
Elizabeth C. Herbert.
Christy L. Hill.
Lauren N. Allen.
Tracy Johnson.
Otisa Cobb.
Marcelo Matthews.
Tierra M. Blackmun.
Bianca L. Perry.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Accounting, Mackenzie M. Latimer.
Keisha L. Rice.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Business Administration, Markale Martin.
Mariah K. Strauss.
Brianna L. Day.
John R. Thorpe.
Sharon Y. Green.
Curtis Walker III.
Heather M. Davila.
Alicia R. Clemens.
Heather Gorney.
Danielle Rodriguez.
Alonda L. Gregory.
Peter M. DeCorto Jr.
Laniqua Smith.
Now receiving the Associate of Science in Health Information Technology, Teresa M. Budak.
Receiving an Associate of Science in Business Administration, Keandra Crittenden.
Thomas I. Mathias Jr.
Kernitra Hicks.
Zakia Constable.
Claude Neely.
Brooke D. Caldwell.
Jonette J. Bell.
Tiffany Edders.
Brianna M. Fuqua.
Mary Delia Marino.
Zachary J. Taghi.
Kenya D. Hamilton.
Maria G. Prieto Hernandez.
Receiving the Associate of Science in Business Administration, Tabitha S. Hampshire.
Joette Thomas. All right.
Atorian L. Whiteside Sr.
Inita S. Lewis.
Robert M. Mathis.
Stephen A. Hall.
Billy Compton.
Austin Gross.
Amber T. Tinsley.
Carmen Musave.
Troy A. Wiley.
Alicia M. Gregory.
Terrence Coleman.
Brandon Z. Willis.
Dennis W. Johnson Sr.
Tamara R. Bowings.
Stacy L. Peters.
Ashley Carroll.
Alexander Groves Mayo.
Regina A. Camp.
Marcus D. Felker.
Dia K. Malger.
Ashley James.
Thomas Berry.
Shalonda Lachelle Terry.
Amanda J. Barnes.
Lucinda M. O'Brien.
Denitris N. Foley.
Crystal L. Jones.
DeTwyla Lasha Cooper.
Antoine Seawood.
Satine L. Suggs.
Thomas Motoyer IV.
Brianna Earl. Congratulations.
Kyle B. Sebring.
I think that's it.
Latasha N. Fincher. Diamond J. Taylor. Kiera L. Burnett Harps. Alexia Jones. Tanisha L. Houston. Amy M. Mason. Marquita L. Nalomes. Zany Bond. Janae D. Durham. Now receiving the Associate of Science in Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering, Christopher E. Kimple. Austin Combs. Receiving the Associate of Science in Information Technology, Brittany M. Ferry. Jaquetta E. Simmons. Abimbolo O. Eldelgoke.
Would all of our graduates today please stand? With the recommendation of the faculty and deans and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, the State of Indiana, and the Higher Learning Commission, I confer upon each of you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities thereunto and appertaining. Congratulations. Please remain standing. I now invite Dr. Thomas Kaplan to the podium.
Now that your degrees have been conferred, I invite you to move the tassels currently on the right side of your caps to the left side. And now that you have had your degrees conferred and your diplomas received, it is my honor to officially declare you, now and forever, sons and daughters of the Indiana Institute of Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in paying a fitting tribute to our newest graduates. Please be seated.
So I've been thinking a lot about you graduates during the ceremony today and thinking about some of the messages that you heard. And you know, some of you may know that this week, actually, a week ago Saturday, I was riding my bicycle in Fort Wayne and I got hit by a car. And I'll spare you the gory details, but I'm actually very lucky to be alive. And, you know, I spent a lot of time thinking this week, you know, why am I still here? And you know, I know one reason is to keep driving my wife crazy, Maria. And seriously though, Maria, I just really appreciate your support and love this week and always. But you know, we heard today about purpose, and you know, my purpose in life, frankly, is to help good people like you, our graduates today and our future graduates, achieve their goals and help them reach their dreams. And like all of you and everyone here today, I'm a warrior. And when Xavier Williams said it, he said, "Perseverance through loss and pain is the way of a warrior. Through every cut, bump, bruise, and occasional broken bone, and I've experienced all of that, a warrior overcomes every obstacle to achieve their goal. I am proud to be a warrior with all of you. And as you all go forth today, I hope that you think about your purpose in life and where you're headed. And wherever you go, I want you to know the Indiana Tech community is absolutely with you every single day. Go Warriors! Now, I hope you take your little swag bag with you, because once a student, forever an alum. Congratulations to you all. Now, I invite Sheryl Hammond back to the lectern.
I now have the privilege and honor to invite Darius Darling, Student Life Programming and Conference Events Coordinator, and also an alum, to sing the Indiana Tech alma mater. If you would please rise while he sings this. Thank you. Asked you a question maybe about an hour ago when he asked if you were ready for your degrees, and I just have to ask you, are you a warrior?
Oh yeah!
Really? Are you a warrior?
Oh yeah!
Okay, all righty. This concludes our undergraduate commencement ceremony. I would ask that you remain seated. Go ahead and be seated, please, while the stage party processes out. And then we challenge you graduates to live your life with integrity and purpose and contribute to a better world. I offer you my heartfelt congratulations. And we also ask if you'd like to come back to campus. We have tents set up and we have a reception there for you. We hope to see you there. Thank you.